So we are up and at 'em pretty early this morning. And by pretty early, I mean I laid awake for the last 2 hours and then finally decided to get up at 6. So it's not too early. Late enough for the sun to come up, but not so late that we're getting a late start. So we figured we'd want to leave camp about 8 this morning, and we are way ahead of schedule. That's good because it gave me a chance to make my coffee. So we are going to be finding out how well this percolator actually percolates, because I've never actually used it for that function. I've always just boiled water in it, but I could not live without my Death Wish coffee this morning. So I went ahead and threw some in there, and hopefully it worked out okay. Otherwise, I just wasted some really good coffee. So I'm going to enjoy my first cup and then pour a second one for the road, just as soon as I get packed up. Alright, now that we're back on the road, went ahead and enjoyed some coffee in camp. Took a minute to pack everything up because I couldn't remember how it all came out of the truck, because it is just a giant puzzle in there. Once I got everything back in, we hit the road. And now we're going to try to get to the Mojave Megaphone. And it's pretty cool. We're just trying to figure out how to get there. Anyway, here's more hood footage. So I knew where the Mojave Megaphone was. I could see it in the Onyx app. The only problem is I couldn't really figure out how to get there. So we drove around for about 2-3 hours just trying to find a way to get to the Megaphone. Now we could see roads and trails in the Onyx app, but a lot of them just kind of ran into the tracks and continued on the other side. So in the app it looked like a full trail, but in reality it was not. So we finally made it to the Megaphone. It is up there. Let me dust off the camera. There, that's better. We have beautiful weather today. It is great. We did do a lot of driving in circles to try to find a way over the tracks, but that is just okay because this is awesome. It's beautiful out here. We were paralleling the tracks for quite a while trying to find the next railroad crossing, and we glance over and there's a group on the other side of the tracks headed to the same crossing. So I'm pretty sure that we made the right decision to go that way. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and climb on up there real quick, and hopefully I don't fall and hurt myself. It's the risk we take. Anyway, up to the Megaphone. So I wasn't sure how to hike up here, but it does look like there's a little trail that everybody uses to come up here. And as we established earlier, I'm fat and out of shape, so we'll see how this goes. We're doing all right here. I regret not bringing the binoculars up with me, because you can see a long ways. Almost there. Ooh, that sun's bright, ain't it? It looks like there's also a path that people took that way. Oh. But check out this view. Oh. Totally worth it. I would say that's an old rail station, or railroad. That's the old railroad that we were driving across right there. Comes along. I made it. So they call it the Mojave Megaphone, but really, like it serves no purpose. It's just here. Nobody really knows why it's here or how it got here. Obviously somebody put it here. It was carried up here, and whoever did it, it was a lot of work. It had to be a large group of people, because it's almost like it was brought up here in 2 pieces and then bolted together once it got up here. But the pipes in the middle go into the rock. I mean, this is a solid mount. So somebody drilled into the rock to mount this thing up here, and it's just it's crazy. And it's even more crazy that nobody knows why it's here or who put it here. Anyway, there is a plane flying overhead, so there's that weird echo going on right now, but like, it's called the Mojave Megaphone, but that's just because of its shape. It serves no acoustic purpose. You can yell into it, nothing's going to happen on the other side. Anyway, there is a lot of theories on this thing, and there is a lot of articles, but my personal favorite when it comes to the Mojave Megaphone is the Stuff You Should Know episode. It's a short stuff. Shout out to Josh and Chuck. I've heard almost every episode multiple times. And it's full of information. And I'll find myself knowing random things just because I'm like, oh, I learned that from Josh and Chuck. Anyway, I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description below to their podcast on the Mojave Megaphone. All right. I didn't film on my way down because I didn't want to die. So, I'm getting back in the Jeep and then we're going to head down the road. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to bypass a little bit of the Mojave Road just because it's a lot easier to go back to it further down the road rather than backtrack all the way where we came from and then continue on down the road. But we will backtrack a little bit once we get to the road because there is another stop I want to take. Oh, this is cool. So right now we're actually traveling on the old railroad. This is so cool. Definitely not something to do if you're afraid of heights. So we made it to the old railway station, and this thing is really cool. If you don't mind driving close to the edge or the bumpy road, because the railroad ties are still here, this is definitely worth a pull through. If you don't want to drive it, you can kind of drive a little bit off the path, and there is a nice spot that you can park and climb up here and take a look around. It's pretty neat.
Careful. If not, you can walk up here, but pretty cool up
So
here. Definitely worth the stop.
it's crazy to think that this area is where the railway used to go through. I mean, it just kind of winds through the mountains. And you can see where it's at now, way over there. But, I mean, you can see how it winds through the mountains over here. I mean, this is pretty cool. You know, it's hard to imagine that Fort Paiute was the stop for the mail route. Like, that's one of the main things of why they built the fort right there. And to think that the railroad that passed through here is what shut all that down 6 months after it was finished. Hard to believe that this was a happening place so many years ago out here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we are in the middle of nowhere. It's just crazy. And it's not like you had vehicles where you could fly across the desert. You got guys on horseback traveling through here. That's just nuts. I mean, in theory, you could do the Mojave Road in a day if you didn't make any stops. It would take you days to travel that road 100 years ago. All right, so we're going to move on just a little bit further, and I'm going to show you my favorite part about this place. So this here is my favorite part of the railway station. This is pretty cool. I mean, we are driving right where the old train used to go, right through this place, and this is nuts. I mean, the rock work, it's amazing. Pretty freaking cool. All right, so we're done here. And now, next stop is Spooky Canyon or Afton Canyon or whatever you want to call it. So you guys are going back on the dash. Well, we finally made it to Spooky Canyon or Afton Canyon, but this whole area is Afton Canyon. So this here is Spooky Canyon. We're going to go ahead and go on inside and take a look around. There is another group here right now, so we're going to be courteous to them, and hopefully they're on their way out. I can already feel a temperature difference.
I wonder how far this thing goes. Jeez.
Slowly getting darker. So Spooky Canyon is pretty neat. It's just a canyon that kind of closes up on itself. And like right in this area here, you can see that it goes all the way up and out. But the canyon kind of folds over on itself, and that's what creates all the darkness. And very shortly, it starts climbing. It has these steps, and it goes all the way to the top, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. I do want to apologize for the audio during this section. The way the sand crunches on your feet, it just sounds terrible to me. It's like the canyon just kind of closes up and turns into a cave. And guys, I feel like this is where my adventure ends, because I am way too sore from hiking all weekend.
It's probably just a little bit. Getting real tight.
What?
I said it's getting real tight.
The problem isn't getting up here. The problem's getting back down. I came this far. You talked me into going, so.
No.
Dude, I might have to call out tomorrow. I'm not gonna be able to walk.
At this point, I figured, well, I already came this far. Why not keep going? And from here on, all the climbs have a rope to assist you, which I think is great. But I don't know how much weight they support.
You hanging out down there?
Yeah.
All right. Hi.
How's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
I'm out of shape.
You guys going up the ropes?
Just to here, probably.
Okay. Oh, there is one more rope. Okay.
How far is the end?
It's a little far.
Another 4 rope climbs. 3 ropes.
Okay.
Yeah. One of them,
really.
One of them's like triple like this one though.
All right.
It's pretty long. Yeah, it's nice though. You definitely got this one.
Well, guys, I think this is where my journey ends because I don't know if my knees can take any more right now. Plus, I left Judson back there, so. All right. I'm going to put you guys down while I get out. So, I had to turn around. They do have, there's rope in there to assist you climbing up. But at that point, I was by myself. I did not feel safe going up. And the problem isn't going up. I mean, I could climb up to the top. I just have a problem getting down. So, if you want to come here and climb all the way up, make sure you bring a headlamp so you don't have your hands full. It was kind of difficult. I had a flashlight in one hand and a camera in the other. And then trying to climb the rope on top of that, it did not work out very well. Anyway, be safe if you come to venture, but there is rope here to assist the climb. We're going to go ahead and move on out and find a nice shady place to break for lunch. Oh, also, don't come to places like this alone. Unless you don't ever want to be found, because, well, not ever. If you fall in here on a Sunday afternoon, chances are nobody's finding you for a week. And there's no signal. So keep that in mind. Stay safe. Stay on the beaten path. So we stopped here in this beautiful canyon just right across from Spooky Canyon and broke for lunch. Justin had sandwiches again, and I'm lazy. I didn't want to make a sandwich, so I had chips and a Red Bull. Woo! So we're going to go ahead and mosey on down the road a little ways. I was trying to get a cool shot in my mirror of you going through the water, and I stopped watching the road, almost hit that rock. So we got a little lost heading on through the Mojave River, but that is all right. We ended up in a kind of a tight spot and had to turn around, and then somebody went in there behind us and got stuck, and we were able to help them out. Now they're following us out. So we finally made it to the famous river crossing that is no longer really a river crossing, because the railroad actually filled it in to be able to get their equipment through here a lot easier. So from what I understand, it's only like 10 inches deep at its deepest part, and I've already been through deeper water today. As you can see right behind me here, not much to write home about anymore. I have seen some pictures where this thing has been extremely full, and I've also seen some pictures when it was like 35 to 40 inches deep. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube of people going through here, and the water's up past their doors, but I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that today. So, just gonna go ahead and hop on through. So we got the water crossing out of the way. We met some lovely people. They were wonderful. And now we are passing Afton Campground. So if you want to camp, this is a good place to camp. It's $6 a night, I believe, currently. And there are restrooms here. Not a lot of restrooms on the Mojave Road. There are some here. And the sites here are first come, first served. Anyway, we're gonna venture on. MT9609 is the trail marker we have. Anyway, we are gonna venture on, keep going just up here a little bit, and we're just gonna keep on traveling on. And I can see the freeway way off in the distance, which means our ride is slowly coming to an end. So that is it, we're done. Mojave Road is complete. The freeway is just on the other side of those railroad tracks right there. I'm yelling because it's extremely windy, and I'm really hoping that this audio goes through. If not, you guys will just be hearing a lot of instead of this beautiful voice of mine. Anyway, it has been a ride. I highly recommend it for everybody, and honestly, I cannot wait to come back. So, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As always, don't forget to subscribe down there. You can check me out on Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Thanks for watching.